Welcome to the Right Time Podcast. The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. You can send us a tweet at the 1-800-Flowers.com Twitter feed. That is at Bomani_Jones. And, yo, man, did Steph Curry drop what's the appropriate term that we can use here? A stinky? He seemed to intimate that he was pooping on the floor after Kevin Durant made that three. Did y'all see that? He seemed to intimate that he was pooping. What an odd thing, right? Like, if you look up, Kevin Durant makes a three. The next thing you know, Steph Curry gets his feet a little wider than shoulder length apart, went down like he was doing squats, except it then looked like he was copping one. Wait, what? Here's what Steph had to say about it today.
It's all spontaneous. Yeah, I wish I could have a little bit more control over the reactions in certain situations. I really don't know what I did last night. Like, I saw it. No, I saw it. I don't know what I was doing. And I even dropped my mouthpiece because I was so uncoordinated in that sense. So that's what it is. Nah, no Randy Moss, none of that stuff. Just having fun.
What a weird way to have fun, Steph. Like, once again, we get reminded that Steph Curry did not learn to talk any level of smack, apparently, until, like, 2014. He seems so new to it all, right? So new to it all. It is like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to do something. So, I just acted like I was, making a stinky. Yeah. A little weird. We let Steph slide for so much. We let Steph. Can you imagine if in a situation like that, LeBron James had done that? I don't know how it is that we reach this point where Steph is the one guy that we let slide on everything. Why? Because he's nice. He means well. He is the stuntastic dude out of all of them. He's stunting. In fact, serious question. Is anybody stunting on people in the NBA more than Steph Curry does right now? Is there anybody between Steph and Draymond Green? Does anybody stunt more than those two? Nobody does. I'm honestly not sure the last time the best team in the league was also the most smack-talkingest team in the league, even when they're not talking. The problem is, what can you do with Steph? What was it last night that Shumpert had his back and forth with Steph? Yeah, last night Shumpert was going back and forth with Steph. I don't even know what that was about, but I felt bad for Shumpert in that situation because Steph comes back and gets in your face, and there's nothing you can do because you can't punch Steph Curry. Right? Like, let's say you in Steph Curry's face and you're like, yeah, dog, you giving him the business. Yay, you gave Steph Curry the business. Steph Curry comes and gives you the business. Ooh, Steph gave you the business. There's nothing you can do. Like, there's literally no room for victory in any such battle with Steph Curry, which means that you got to let a dude talk smack to you who's out here intimating that he's pooping on a basketball floor because that's just what felt right at the time. I mean, okay. That's what we've got. By the way, let us be clear. Yes, we are at this point in these pretty much over NBA Finals where we're just cobbling together the topics, right? Like, Steph Curry intimated that he was taking a poop. Okay, we've got that one. Also, apparently, J.R. Smith, after the game, his Twitter account sent a message that said, Cavs in 7. J.R. says that he got hacked. Check this.
I didn't tweet it. My Twitter got hacked, and somebody posted it. I was in the shower when the tweet went out, but, I believe it. So I'm just glad they didn't tweet nothing crazy.
It wasn't you, but you could have brought.
I could see myself saying that for sure, absolutely. I'm just glad they did that instead of something dumb.
I love JR. Right there, like, nah, it wasn't me. But just so you know, I'd have done it. Right? Like, I'm here, baby. I'd have done it. It just wasn't me. But I just want you to know, yeah. I would have said the same thing. Man, he thinks they're coming back.
Oh, yeah, we're coming back. That wouldn't be me if I didn't think that. So my teammates look for me for inspiration and enthusiasm and grit and toughness, and that's what I'm going to give them day in and day out, on and off the court.
They look to you for enthusiasm, huh? Where the hell was that the first two games, JR? JR played pretty well last night, but where was that the first two games, JR?
He really did try, though. Early on, he played under control, hit his first couple shots. You thought he was really going to get it working for him until it didn't.
and that happens, right? Till it didn't. That's where it was for JR. By the way, the thing about a cat like JR, I imagine, if his Twitter account's getting hacked, he ain't worried about what somebody's sending. He's worried about what somebody's seeing. Right, like that's your concern there. Like, okay, you say crazy things pretending to be J.R. Smith. Okay, that'll change my life. Yeah, whatever. J.R. got wife and kid now. J.R. like, hey, wait a minute. Like, what you send in public ain't my concern. Get about them DMs, though. Like, stay completely away from there. I don't need any of that at all. But, oh, well, that's where we are. This is where we are at the NBA Finals. We got you to the poopy story. We got you to the JR being hacked. Is there any other, like, ancillary sort of thing that we've got going around the NBA Finals?
Of course, we're at 3-0 now. Cavs lost at home, so we have to blame somebody now, right? We have to blame somebody, right? It has to be Tyronn Lue's fault for coaching. It's Kevin Love for his not producing offensively in the third game. And, of course, LeBron's always to blame, right?
Yep. I'll never forget something my daddy told me when I was younger, and it was one of the most important lessons I ever got. He's like, look, man, no matter what, somebody got to lose. Right? Like you can do everything you were supposed to do. They can do everything they were supposed to do. In the end, somebody got to lose. Right? Whether we're talking about a game or whether we're talking about something larger like a championship, only going to be one winner. That's it. There's only going to be one. And in this one, the winner's going to be the Warriors. Right? I mean, I don't – the Cavs certainly could have played better. There are obviously things that we could point to with the Cavs. But still, like, what more are we talking about here, man? What are you supposed to do against the buzzsaw? What are you supposed to do against the buzzsaw? Everybody tried to come up with an answer. Nobody has won. And look, I thought that Cleveland had a chance to win this series. I didn't think they were going to win the series necessarily, but I certainly thought that they had a chance to win this series. Nah, man. They just outgunned. They're just outgunned in every single way. Now, we talk about LeBron, and he didn't take it to the basket at the end. He took it to the basket plenty, but, I mean, it's wild. We basically want LeBron to go to the basket every play and don't understand that very few players age and go to – LeBron goes to the basket more now than pretty much any other 32-year-old that you're going to have in the league, man. It's not easy to do. And so he made the pass out to Korver for a corner three, which is the whole reason that he's in the damn NBA, and people knock LeBron for it. But credit to LeBron. LeBron ain't backing off it.
If you could have the play over again, would you still make that same pass?
If I could have the play over again, I would come off a 3-screen situation. Draymond would switch on me with 5 fouls. I would get him leaning. I would drive left. I would see KD step up. I would see Steph Curry drop on Kevin, and I would see Kyle Korver in the corner to one of the greatest three-point shooters in this league history and give him an opportunity in the short corner. I would do the same exact thing.
I mean, I'm with him. By the way, this seemed to break Kyle Korver's heart that he missed that shot.
He literally went frame by frame through that final play and the pass to you in the corner, and how he said he would do it again every time. What's that mean to you, though? One of the greatest players in the game is so unselfish in such a key moment.
No, those are the kind of guys that you want to play with. I mean, obviously, it's a tough situation for him. I make the shot, and it was just an incredible play, and he trusted his teammate. The narrative, spins either way depending on the ball going in the basket or not.
One thing that's interesting about that, number one, that dude's reliving like the most miserable moment in Kyle Korver's professional career, maybe, and he's like, but how great is it that LeBron gave you the ball? Right? He's just like, but don't you feel good that LeBron even thought that you could make the shot? And then Korver's like, yeah, I bet that was tough on LeBron. Even for Kyle Korver, it's about LeBron. Right? Like, not necessarily in a way to knock LeBron, but even on a play that involved Kyle Korver missing the shot, to Kyle Korver, it was still about LeBron James. Still there. Like, that's what, like, he's the sun. In this solar system, he is the sun. Even if they are down 3-0, he is the sun. By the way, what's this weather thing going on in Cleveland where LeBron was in there wearing a hoodie today? Y'all still got hoodie weather in Cleveland? Like, is it just cold in the building, or are y'all still wearing hoodies in Cleveland, Ohio? If so, I mean, LeBron, I'm glad you're in the NBA Finals, but you could have been losing the finals and still been out here by the beach. Just so you know. 888-729-3776. That's our telephone number. Coming up next, LeBron's caught hell for letting Kevin Durant take that three. I'll tell you what that three-pointer for Kevin Durant really said on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. John Buccigross will join us next segment. John Buccigross will join us at 6:30 Eastern to talk about the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. That's the old soul song of the day, Ghetto Life by Rick James. Hard to explain to the youth like what this whole Rick James thing was. And the answer is it was a lot. It was a lot. Nothing makes a spring birthday or anniversary more magical than 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, 1-800-Flowers is offering an exclusive 24 for 24 offer. 24 multicolored roses for $24. That's only $1 per rose. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN. 888-729-3776 is our telephone number. Kevin Durant hit the big three in LeBron's face to basically close out the NBA Finals. I mean, the Cavs had another chance on the other end to get it done, but this was pretty much it. Durant got the ball, brought it down. Well, actually, listen to Kevin Durant talk about it.
First off, it's a great stop. Who got that stop? I want to say Clay, maybe. Somebody got the stop, and it always starts on the defensive side with us. And we know, if we get off the board and push, we're a dangerous team. And I seen them back it up, and I just wanted to take that shot. And also it was a good time. I mean, it was 45 seconds to go. We were down 2. If I missed, we could have got another stop. But glad I was able to knock that down. I just tried to stay disciplined in my shot, hold my follow through, and it went in. So, but more importantly, we got 2 stops after that. So we got to build on that, but we got to be better at Game 4.
You know how furious I'd be if I was the Cavs and this fool talking about, but we got to be better in Game 4. No, you don't. You don't need to be better in Game 4. Now, I admit the Cavs got a game coming up that's a little bit of a dilemma for them, which is, do you want to win so bad that you catch a cross-country flight? Right? Like, do you want to win so that you will have the pleasure of taking a 4.5-hour flight so that you can go to Oakland and watch them celebrate on their home floor, which, the Warriors didn't do last time and probably won't do this time. Like, is that what you want to do? Ugh. I don't know about that. But Durant just being like, look, man, I got down there. I'm Kevin Durant. I had this shot. I put it up. If I missed it, cool. We were going to make the stop. Like that, the fearlessness of what Durant said there was not even so much about making the shot. It was the faith that he had that if he didn't make the shot, they'd get the ball back. Right? Like, that's the one thing I think we talk about, like the whole notion of being clutch and being unafraid. And look, there's something to the idea of being clutch. Like, for better or worse, Kobe Bryant is going to give you the same shot if they're up 20 or as if they're down 2 with 1 second left to go, right? He's totally unafraid of that. He can live with the consequences of not making the shot. But for the Warriors with Durant, he's like, there are no consequences if I don't make this shot. If I don't make this shot, we're going to go down to the other end, we're going to get the ball back, and then we're going to do it again. Like, that's where the Warriors are, where you're looking at it like, okay, even if this offense didn't hit, and don't worry, we're going to play good enough defense that'll get us into easy offense, and then we'll come back the other way. There we go. Now, LeBron has caught a lot of hell, obviously, for the fact that he was there when Kevin Durant put that 3 up. By the way, I think 13 for 21 is what Durant is shooting on LeBron James. 13 for 21. And look, LeBron is not the all-world defender that he was when he was in Miami. He's not that guy. Like, I just don't think he can afford to expend that kind of energy on the defensive end anymore. Because that's one thing you forget about having Dwayne Wade and having Chris Bosh allowed LeBron to expend a lot more energy on defense because there were other guys that could do more on offense, right? So, LeBron is there. He's still a pretty good defender, but Kevin Durant's been giving it to him. And, like, this is the dilemma that LeBron says he wound up in when Kevin Durant's coming down the floor.
Well, I seen him getting ready to pull up. He uses a rhythm dribble to get a good look, and when KD shoots, he falls forward, and I wanted to get a contest. The last thing I wanted to do was foul a jump shooter, so I wanted to jump and contest it. But I know when he shoots, he kind of leans forward a little bit, so I just stayed there, high hands, contested, and he made it.
I got to say, I would pay money to just watch film with LeBron because all those details that he gave right there about Kevin Durant, like all of that is amazing to consider. He's got all that going. He's like, look, he tips it forward a little bit. He takes a rhythm dribble when he wants to get his shot, so he does this. I just put up high hands, try to contest it. Because the thing about LeBron is LeBron has absolute confidence in whatever decision it is that he made. Right? Like, that's the thing for him when you start talking about what to do at the end. What LeBron has faith in is his brain. He has faith that, okay, I'm going to make the right decision. It might not come through, but I feel all right with the decision that I have made. Durant's out there like, man, we so cold. It don't matter if I make this shot or not, baby. It doesn't. And by the way, it didn't. It should be noted that it did not. We got this here, by the way, about LeBron. Remember that LeBron played 46 minutes listed in the stat sheet. They were +7 with him on the floor in a listed 46 minutes. They lost the game by 5 points. Right? Like, it was basically the equivalent of you got kids in the house, you leave the kitchen to go into your bedroom to pick something up off the counter, and you come back and the kids have set the house on fire. Like, that's it. Chris Herring of 538, he says the Cavs had 6 possessions with LeBron out of the game. 5 ended with 0 or no passes. Only one of them had more than 2 passes. Like, it just fell apart when he wasn't out there. They did. But at the same time, the fact that even mattered, that's just the Warriors having the horses. They've got them. And like I say, they've put together a system that everybody there has faith in. Like, I'm not sure everybody on the team necessarily likes each other, but they all have faith in the kind of basketball that they play. They all do. Like, you can just see that at every turn. They have faith in what it is that they're supposed to do. And they don't run a whole lot of plays. So you really got a coach telling you but so much to do. Like, they run it. They run it. Kyrie Irving, by the way, after Game 3, here's what he said about Kevin Durant as closer.
He was their closer tonight, for sure. Doing what he's supposed to be doing. Got to a spot. I got to switch out on Tristan. Hits a big-time shot baseline, and then, just hits an unbelievable game winner. Just come down in transition. Only Kevin Durant can hit. So, you give credit when credit is due. Now it's just time to go home, watch film, get prepared for Game 4.
I did not know that Russell Wilson was so astute when discussing basketball. Who knew? Shannon, did you know?
When did that happen? I know we brought this up on the show yesterday.
The last time we talked today, we just realized, wow, he sounds a lot like those Russell Wilson clips.
Yes, Kyrie Irving sounds like Russell Wilson now, and he's dropping the Russell Wilson cliches now. So we'll just go and watch the film. Hopefully we'll get better.
He's like, maybe if I turned into Russell Wilson, I could get Sierra.
I'm a small-town kid from Richmond, Virginia.
Kyrie don't want Sierra. 888-729-3776. That is our telephone number here on The Right Time. I'm going to try to do something now. We're going to bring worlds together, Shannon. We're going to bring worlds together. Have you noticed that a lot of hockey guys take a lot of shots at the NBA playoffs while hockey's going on, right? I don't know why they always seem so concerned. I'm not that guy, though. I recognize how many people like the NBA and they like hockey. Going to show hockey a little bit of love and holler at the Bucci man, John Buccigross, about the Stanley Cup Finals on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. Handcrafted. It's all the rage. From flour-pressed soap to homemade hot sauce to artisanal pickles, whatever those are. Well, Firestone Complete Auto Care is glad it's catching on because they've been handcrafting repairs since 1926. And their 4,000 ASE-certified technicians work hard every day to help keep cars running like new. Before people were making organic greeting cards and rock jewelry in their basements, Firestone Complete Auto Care has been hard at work in the garage, tightening, torquing, wrenching. And they back that work with their fix-right promise, guaranteeing your car is fixed right, your repair is priced right, and the work is completed right on time. Keep your car running newer, longer, because when your car is running right, so are you. Take advantage of the Bonus Savings Day summer event and get $100 off any purchase of $500 or more. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Offer valid June 8th through June 11th on any purchase. Exclusions may apply. In-store installation required. Maximum savings $100. $50 minimum purchase required for tiered offers. See store or driveafirestone.com for full details.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Right Time. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. All guests join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, just like our next guest. You can catch him host of Sports Center. Is Bucci Man, John Buccigross. All right, John, we have a pivotal Game 5 tonight in NHL playoffs. We always joke about this in basketball, how Game 5 is always pivotal. I'm assuming we do the same thing in hockey where we make all Game 5s pivotal?
It's 71% of the time the team that wins it goes on to win. That's pretty pivotal, but you're still a 300 hitter of a chance if you lose it. So certainly it's not drastic. It's not a 90% number, but it is 70% if you win this game. And for the Penguins to have Game 7 in your back pocket that'd be a good feeling going to Nashville. I think the probably the better story would be Nashville win tonight, and then the Penguins must win Game 6 on the road. And with the Cup in the building in Nashville, they may think to use that for a spittoon down there, but no, it's the Stanley Cup, and it will be in the building if Nashville wins tonight. That would make for obviously an amazing Game 6, and then if obviously Pittsburgh wins, an amazing Game 7. So I think you double the pleasure if Nashville wins tonight.
John, did you just do one of those I'm from cold weather hockey place and I made a Southern joke about the people things about the spittoon in Nashville, man? I thought you guys had gotten over Sunbelt hockey.
I love Sunbelt hockey. I've always said hockey is a great enough sport to be played and loved anywhere. Doesn't matter. I love it everywhere. I love it. I spread the gospel of hockey anywhere.
I think the dynamics are interesting because I was in Raleigh when the Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup in 2006. We're talking to John Buccigross on the right time. And it was interesting because the people who cared really, really cared. And it's like it comes to these towns that haven't had professional sports, and it's a whole new experience, and it's the uniqueness of the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, because I go back to covering the 2002 final, when ESPN had hockey, and I would go to all the games, and we would do NHL Tonight, and that's the year they lost to the Red Wings. But it was like Nashville now. They had tailgating in the parking lot. It's just the loudest arena of the postseason in 2002 was in Raleigh. And as you mentioned, the biggest pro sports team, the only pro sports team in town. Of course, Nashville has a couple now. It would be the same thing if it happened in Columbus. Columbus would look like Nashville if the Blue Jackets ever get to the Cup final. So it's great. It's Gary Bettman really. He's booed every year when they bring the Cup out to present to the winning team and the winning captain. But both these teams would not be where they are if Gary Bettman didn't make sure they stayed. Bankrupt, and of course getting the Predators to Nashville to begin with, that was part of his vision of increasing the map across the U.S., and then the Penguins being in bankruptcy twice, but making sure and really pushing hard for them to stay. He's a no movement owner really when it comes to moving teams. It's a last resort, and so both these teams, if they win it, whoever wins it should applaud Gary Bettman. That'll be an interesting. There'll be no reason to boo him, that's for sure.
Here we're talking to John Buccigross on the right time. Are you one of the people that's of the belief that it's 2-2, but the Predators have outplayed them this series?
Yeah, a little bit. Certainly the Penguins seem to steal a couple. I thought last game was pretty even. But, yeah, for sure, for some reason, I'm not sure why, because the Penguins certainly have better players up front. Nashville has better defensemen. And then the goalies have just kind of taken turns not having good games. So, this is a pivotal one tonight. I'm actually going to the game just I'm going to sit in the stands with a high school buddy just because I got my day off in between NBA Finals games. It's only an hour and a half to the north. So, and Penguins fans are filled with angst. They do not have a lot of confidence in this game tonight. It's kind of an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, are you surprised by that? Because I think they have so much still to lean on.
Well, I think they see what we're seeing, that, they're getting outshot every game, and they're not carrying the play. To use a hockey term, they're not carrying the play. Nashville's carrying the play. They're just kind of along for the ride, and they're looking for 87 and 71 to have big games tonight. Phil Kessel, is he going to pop one in tonight? So, and they know their defense is not a strong unit. It's battered, it's bruised, it's injured. Their best one, Chris Letang, has been out for the season here for a couple of months. So they know that defense is not real strong, and they're just kind of hanging on by by their fingernails, going to 7 with the Capitals down 3-1, going to 7 in overtime with Ottawa. So they are kind of playing with house money. So you think there'd be less stress, especially coming off a win last year. But they're a bit nerve-wracked right now.
All right, now with that team with Sidney Crosby, it's unfair to call him the LeBron James of hockey because he is Sidney Crosby. You don't need a comparison, but he has been that kind of figure where we paid attention to him basically from his teenage years all the way up. How much discussion or concern is there around him on how many cups he wins or what happens if his team doesn't win in a series like this?
Yeah, not really. He's got a lot of equity. He's got 2 cups now. He's got a couple gold medals, which is a huge, way bigger deal in the hockey world than it is in the basketball world. People in the basketball world kind of shrug their shoulders at gold medals because the disparity is still pretty large. But in hockey, it's not as big a disparity between Canada, the U.S., and Russia, and certainly Czech Republic at times. So those carry a huge amount of weight in Canada, and he's won a couple of those. He's won the World Cup last year for Canada, which was on ESPN. That was the preseason tournament, the World Cup of hockey. So, and he's lost one as a young kid, then came back and won the one last year, and all the concussions. So, no, he's okay in that regard. He's I'm sure in his mind he wants to get as many or more than Jonathan Taves. And 3 would be a really important number for him. And plus, it also means more than Mario Lemieux, his boss, would have. And so he'd become the hockey, and in some people's minds, the hockey god in Pittsburgh.
All right, we are talking to John Buccigross on the right time. Also, Sidney Crosby had the Listerine situation with he and Subban. I think Subban put the picture on Twitter of him bringing his Listerine. Where are you on Subban? Not everybody seems to enjoy his brand of fun.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's great. When you meet him in person, he's just you can't not like him. He has so much charisma and likability, and he likes to put on a show. And obviously, and I don't know if how much of it is just to do it, which I also kind of enjoy that. People who do something just to kind of get under people's skin, and he's bringing a swagger to them, and swagger is an important part of sports, and people don't really defer anymore, and in any sport, whether it's golf or whether it's football. Rookies come out ready to go, and so no, I'm a big fan of his. I thought it was an amazing trade by them to shake up that whole city and shake up the team. And they're 2 wins away from it really working.
All right, now how do you think tonight's game goes?
Yeah, I just 87 played so well last game. Sidney Crosby, for Nashville. What Zaytoven is to Gucci Mane, Pecorine is to the Prez. I know you've always said that yourself.
Oh, yes.
And so, if he's never been good here. He's never won a game in Pittsburgh, and he's always given up at least 4 goals. So is he going to end that tonight? And that's the thing that's why hockey's different than the other sports. Even though the Penguins have Crosby, he's Tom Brady, he's LeBron. But there's a goalie. There's a 6'5" Finnish dude with gigantic pads and futons on his legs, and he's standing in front of the net. And if he's out of his mind, it doesn't matter who you are. And that's the great equalizer in hockey. It's why the games are close. It's why all the games are close, and why it's such a difficult trophy to win.
All right, he is Ninth Wonder's favorite Sports Center anchor, John Buccigross. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Love it, Bo. Peace.
All right, now, Right Time is brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics. Take a synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones.
All right, Shannon, what we miss out on today?
We know you can't be on top of all the news and information of the day. Now, if you haven't heard.
All right, last night the Cavs were in a must-win Game 3 situation, and they came up short. They played their best game of the series, but it wasn't enough, falling late to the Warriors. And if you haven't heard, here's Bomani Jones earlier today on The Right Time discussing the game.
Much more problematic than LeBron whipping the ball over there to Kyle Korver on that shot was your man, Kyrie, where he decided to go sweet Georgia Brown for 20 seconds and then pull up on that 3 with somebody dead in front of him. Because one thing the Warriors, I think, are doing in this series that I haven't given them enough credit for is their defense on the three-point line has been nuts. Like, you keep going back and looking at the field goal percentage from 3 for the Cavs, and it's easy to be like, man, y'all got to make some shots. Last night they were 12 for 44. Also, Klay Thompson, a.k.a. Spider-Man, is over there, and he kind of makes things difficult for guys to get shots off, for example. But Kyrie, that isn't how you do it on the possession. What we say earlier in this series about Kyrie, Kyrie does not seem to have a great feel for the game. Kyrie can get buckets, but I've never felt like Kyrie has a great feel for the game. Where was his feel for the game on that play? A, blow through the chance to get a 2-for-1, right? Like, given what the score dynamic was, 2-for-1 is the way that you need to go in that one. Nope, went past that one. And what was he doing when they blew past the 2-for-1? Boom, 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 boom. Just dribbling the ball. Just dribbling the ball. Watch me dribble. Hey, want to see me dribble? Want to watch me dribble? Want to see me dribble? Hey, look at me. Here I am dribbling. Dribble. That's what you got, right? That was worse, I thought, than what happened with LeBron. Again, I get the argument on why you want LeBron to go up, but nah. Now, the other thing we getting on LeBron for here is Kevin Durant and that pull-up 3, right? I have to say this. We're really acting like guarding Kevin Durant is a lot easier than it is. Come on, man. It's Kevin Durant.
Really seemed yesterday that we really couldn't point a finger or place blame on anyone. And that was actually one of our Twitter poll questions today on the ESPN Radio Twitter account. We asked the question, is there anyone to blame for the Cavs' loss last night? And you had your options were yes or no, it's the Warriors. 75% of the folks voted said no one to blame. tip your hat to the Warriors.
I feel like we got a sophisticated audience. How about that? We have a sophisticated audience. That's good.
I will say, though, if we had amended the poll and added LeBron as one of the options.
Yeah, might have flipped things up.
Just a tad.
Just throwing it out there. You know what? Now that you mentioned it, yes, LeBron's fault. Why? Cuz.
Speaking of which, two groups I noticed last night that weren't showing their best after that loss. One, Miami Heat fans. Miami Heat fans. I don't get it. Please explain this to me because I wasn't here when LeBron left. Why are you still rooting against LeBron?
Okay, I would say that overwhelmingly this city is okay with LeBron leaving because this is a city that understands relationships of convenience, right? So the city. But there is a segment of diehard Heat fans that feel like LeBron betrayed them. I don't know why. You're telling me it's different. What the hell's so different? If you did it to him, you'll do it to me.
All right, then the other fans, of course, are the Kobe stans.
Well, they're who they are.
There was even a hashtag that was funny going out called Kobe Would Have.
Like the Kobe stans wish the Warriors would change their blue to look a little bit more like purple so they could just full on slide into this Warriors thing because it's the greatest LeBron-hating mechanism that they've ever had. They are such a just passionate bunch.
But also, LeBron was asked today whether or not it was fair for Golden State, a team that won 73 games last year, to add someone like a Kevin Durant.
Is it fair? I don't care. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, it's great for our league. I mean, right now, look at our TV ratings. Look at the money our league is pouring in. I mean, guys are loving the game. Our fans love the game. I mean, who am I to say if it's fair or not? I mean, no matter who am I going against, if I'm going against, 4 Hall of Famers, like I said before the series started with Draymond, Clay, Steph, and KD, or if I'm going against 2 or whatever the case may be, I'm always excited to play the game, and I'm not one to judge or say if it's fair or not if guys are adding, players to their team. So, I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean, is it fair that the New York Yankees in the 90s was adding piece after piece after piece after piece? I mean, if you have the opportunity to do that, is it fair that the Cowboys added Deion Sanders? I mean, listen, it happens. It's sports. You can have an opportunity to sign one of the best players, and you can do it. Go ahead and do it. Why not? If I become an owner, I'm going to try to sign everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, so based upon LeBron's comments, this offseason the Cavs will go out and sign Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, J.J. Redick, and they'll probably trade for Paul George too. Did I get that right?
I mean, dude, what is anybody supposed to do, man?
Really, for Cleveland, it's your turn,
Yeah.
Like, we won 73 games. You beat us, so we add KD. It's your turn, Cleveland. What do you do?
Right, and does this portion of LeBron's career turn into like the Jerry West portion where you're just always close, but you're not going to win no championships? Because, I mean, the Warriors, if everything rolls according to a natural arc without, like, some shocks to the system, this is really about another 4 years on this run, unless they wear down in all these runs to the postseason.
Hey, last and certainly not least, of course, you're familiar with the story now of Buffalo Bill Sharice Rice, who took an Uber from Chicago all the way to Buffalo, and it cost him, what was that? It cost him
$900 with tip.
$900 with a tip, right. So we got comments from the Uber driver today, and he said he thought that Wright wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Not actually Buffalo. But he said he promised them that he would take them. So he said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's hit the road.
Yo, he need to start reading closer on the screen. Right? Like, did he do this through the Uber app? Because I feel like if he did it through the Uber app, you don't just see Buffalo and be like, oh, okay, cool, B-dubs.
Apparently the dude is from Turkey. He's been in the States here for 4 years now. So
yeah, pay a little better attention next time, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this every weekday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Shannon, Nuno, Steven, thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to The Right Time podcast. Please come back tomorrow for more. And don't forget to listen to The Right Time with Bomani Jones from 4 p.m. to 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Love Advice with Leanne. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Leanne. Longtime listener, first-time caller. Why, in your professional opinion, do you never take my calls off the air?
Is this Carl?
Yep, it's Carl. I mean, we had a few dates. Everything was great, I thought.
Well, When you switch to Geico, you could save a lot of money on car insurance.
Okay, awesome.
You should call them.
I will.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.